The month of May, we have it covered right here on Sky Sports. Now, last weekend, Huddersfield and Castleford produced eye-catching, headline-grabbing results. Now they go head-to-head in a game that could have major ramifications at both ends of the Betfred Super League table. The Giants find themselves at the wrong end of the league ladder, but their win at Leeds was astonishing considering they lost the previous week in the Cup to Swinton. Jermaine McGillvray is away with England in Australia, so it's a rare chance for the former Warrington winger Gene Ormsby. On the other flank, teenager Darnell McIntosh is in sensational form. 5 tries in his last 5 appearances. It's exactly the same forward pack that faced the Rhinos, Cruz Leeming and Dale Ferguson, hoping to cash in on their first tries of the season that came last week at Headingley. And on the bench, New Zealand international Sam Rapira returns, having missed the short trip to Leeds. It was his first absence in 11 games. Well, it comes as no surprise the league leaders supply 3 key men for England this weekend. So changes tonight because of that. Greg Eden moves to full-back to fill in for Zach Hardacre, while Joel Monaghan takes Eden's place on the wing, and Paul McShane deputises for the influential Luke Gale at half-back. But McShane has played in that role before. There's no Mike McMeekin either, so Alex Foster is drafted into the side and will be making a debut for his 5th club tonight. He signed from the Bradford Bulls when they were liquidated in January, having previously been at London Broncos. And on the bench, another new face, Tom Holmes, having been recalled from a loan spell at Batley, while Junior Moores and Matt Cook each make their 60th appearances for the club. So Rick Stone with his final words of wisdom to the Huddersfield Giants, who produced their finest performance of the year last week. 31-12 winners at Leeds, and 2 days later Castleford beat Wigan 54 points to 4. 2 outstanding results. And it's the Challenge Cup next week for Castleford. They play St Helens at home. Super League then recommences in Newcastle for the Magic Weekend the following week. May the 21st, Castleford take on the Leeds Rhinos. Mouth-watering matches of the Betfred Super League table. Now, Huddersfield have lost their leading try scorer, Jermaine McGillvray, who's on the international scene this weekend. 7 tries in 11 Super League appearances for him. Much more than just a top try scorer, though, Jermaine McGillvray, and he will leave big shoes to fill. Hardacre, Gale and McMeekin all away with England in Sydney for Saturday's test against Samoa. All 3 of them have been ever present for Castleford this year as they have blown the Super League wide open. And another big blow for Castleford. Ben Roberts is out injured, and that means that some players here tonight for them are getting their first Super League outings of the season. Well, it's a perfect night for rugby league. It is dry. It has been for much of the week. It's glorious sunshine that is now setting behind the stands on the far side, and the pitch looking in magnificent order. But prior to the kick-off tonight, there's going to be a minute's silence in memory of Jennifer Davey, the wife of the Huddersfield chairman Ken Davey, who so sadly died last week. The Davies have been at the helm of the Giants for over 21 years, and it was Jennifer's love of this rugby league club that persuaded Ken to get involved in the first place. She will be remembered as the First Lady of the Huddersfield Giants, and she will be sadly missed. A devastating time for Ken Davey and all his family. And Jennifer Davey will be sadly missed, as I say. Well, Ben Thaler is tonight's match referee. Last week's win saw a totally committed performance from all concerned. And with just over a week from the tragic death of Jennifer Davey, I'm sure that this will be an emotional evening all round. And as requested, the crowd here tonight continuing the applause until Danny Brough gets this game in motion in remembrance of the First Lady of the Giants. So here we go. And as I say, it will be emotional. It is bound to be, but there's a big job on the hands for Huddersfield tonight, Terry, because they're playing the league leaders. And it's how you control those emotions. And you said, Eddie, how good they were last week. They were exceptional when they took on the Leeds Rhinos, but this is what Castleford do. The first set of 6 last week when they played against Wigan, they scored a try when they blitzed Wigan. And they're coming into this side, and it's going to be a big test for them about can they step up, can they keep on playing? And it's an exciting challenge and a great opportunity for lads who have been given the starting jersey, see what they can do. This is Andy Lynch, 37 years young Andy Lynch, still going strong at the top of the Super League. And now Grant Millington, who was featured, of course, by Brian and John at the start of the match. He gets the Tigers to the halfway line at the end of the opening set of 6. It's in the hands of Rangi Chase, who pumps the ball into the air. And that is over the head of Jake Mamo and bounces tamely dead. So a 7-set repeat for Huddersfield coming up. Well, Rangi Chase will want to take his opportunity tonight. I'm glad to see that Darryl Powell has still kept Junior Moores on the bench. He's done a wonderful job when he's come on for the Tigers, really lifted the tempo. And Darryl Powell has handed opportunities to a number of players, but it's Rangi Chase I'm interested in tonight. I want to see how he responds to the extra responsibilities. Cruz Leeming was the man at dummy half, and here's the man of the match from last week, Sebastien Ika-Hihifo, and he gets the Giants almost to the halfway line. Plays the ball then to Leeming, who goes on a little run, slips the pass then to Aaron Murphy, and it needed dealing with, a possible run from him. Here is Brough, and if Brough plays, Huddersfield play. He needs a platform, doesn't he? Cruz Leeming, the man who's behind dummy half, he was exceptional again last week. Kicked the 40-20 along with Danny Brough. So the kicking game was on song, but it was what the forwards were doing when they were carrying the ball. They were so devastating, scattering Leeds players. Oliver Roberts played the ball to Leeming off the outside of the left boot. Brough hoisted in the air, and it's come back to Ika-Hihifo. He gets it wide to Darnell McIntosh. The ball on the ground and then picked up. Oh, then lost forward. And so Huddersfield have a free play. It's worth a chance. It's worth a chance, but they'll take it back for the original offence, the knock-on, and Huddersfield will get head and feed at this scrum. Well, then you could say that it could be risky play from Castleford when they trap near the line. All of a sudden, they get the space on the edge, and they look to throw the ball back inside from Greg Minikin. They make the mistake. But the reason why we talk about them in glowing terms is because they're willing to do this. They are an attacking side, but as well as being an attacking side, this year they've got the defence right as well. Well, hindsight's brilliant, but I don't think the best decision from Greg Eden. He had 3, maybe 4 metres on that short side. He gave an impossible task to Greg Minikin. He had to try and keep in the field of play. He lost possession, good field position for the Giants now. I'll tell you, please, Sam. Wait there. OK, now. So here is Huddersfield with an enormous opportunity in the early moments, and Brough gets the ball away. This is Alex Mellor, and Castleford having to muscle up in defence, but Mellor gets them to within 5 of their line, and Leeming is waiting once again for the Giants. Here is Brough once more, gets the pass away. Again, Ika-Hihifo is thwarted by solid defence. Down he goes though, just short of the line. Leeming is there, Hinchcliffe's on his right shoulder, and then he gets away to Oliver Roberts, who scored a try at Headingley last week. Down he goes on tackle number 3. Big pressure from that scrum. Leeming gives it then to Brough again. He goes wide. Mamo tried to get it out wide, looking for McIntosh, but the ball went behind him, and so all that comes to naught, and Castleford now will get head and feed at this scrum. Well, it's good defence, isn't it, from Castleford. You see that Jake Webster, he shoots in on Mamo.
which forces him to get rid of that ball as quick as he can. They have got numbers out there, but it's the pressure from Jake Webster that forces that mistake.
The Tigers have been a better team with their attack this year. Okay, they're scoring points, but it's the defence that's probably been the most significant improvement. And a lot of people I hear talk say that it's because of Zach Hardaker at fullback and the organisation he provides for the other defenders in the team. Be a test tonight with Hardaker in Australia about to face Samoa, whether Greg Eden at fullback has the same organisational and vocal skills that the other fullback has for the rest of this season had.
Well, Eden is playing against his former club. He is the Super League top try scorer this year with 14 tries to his name, yet he hasn't scored in the last two. He was at Huddersfield in 2012, 13 tries from him in 27 appearances. This, meanwhile, is Andy Lynch.
Andy Lynch, another player who leads by example. We've got so many players who put their hand up, and when you're defending against Cass, because they shift the ball, you're going to cover some miles. You've got to make sure that you don't switch off. You keep on going, you keep pressuring them.
Chase with the kick, big and down the middle of the field.
On goal, Eddie.
It almost was an own goal, wasn't it, from Gene Ormsby? That was unconventional, to say the least. Well, Huddersfield Town are hoping they're on their way back up to the Premiership, or into the Premiership, should I say. The club that shares this stadium. And how's that for a little bit of football skills from Gene Ormsby?
Could have gone horribly wrong, though.
It could have done.
And gone dead as well. So it was a gamble, but it came off then for Gene Ormsby.
Well, he's had a few good runs, hasn't he? We've only been playing for 5 minutes. But Cruz leaving, he's looking like a more dangerous hooker around that play the ball area, which is something the Giants have needed. Now Brough kicks it deep.
And that was a 40-20 possibility. But Joel Monaghan is there to pick the ball up. And then gets it to Eden. Somehow he managed to hang on to that. He was under great pressure from Shannon Wakeman.
Did very well to hold on to that ball, Greg Eden, to run at that pace, to meet a spin pass like that. I think that's another one of those occasions where perhaps if other players are on the pitch, and the England players, who I suspect will be watching this somewhere in Australia, you know, the influence might be let's not make those decisions too risky in backfield.
Well, if the English players down under are watching tonight, we wish them well for their test match against the Samoans. And that's Rangi Chase, who came up with a mistake. I think, as the referee spotted a knock-on by Huddersfield, he has. It looked as though the pass was going forward anyway, but touch judge and official, well, that to me is a forward pass, but was it nudged by Aaron Murphy? Maybe that's the reason, is it, Stuart, do you think?
Yeah, it's touched by Aaron Murphy. Whether it's actually knocked forward is a different matter. He certainly plays it. It seems to continue in the same direction.
I think that's his own hand. He tries to pull that pass back.
It slips out of his hand. Yeah, that's what happens when he double pumps the ball, as though he's going to give Jake Webster that short lead, and then because he does that, the ball slips out of his hand.
Well, when you're top of the table, things tend to go for you. When you're struggling at the other end, things tend to go against you, and I think we saw there that that did go against the Huddersfield Giants. Anyway, Castleford will not be worried about that. Here's Adam Milner. Gets the ball away to Millington. Picked it up brilliantly. Chase. And here is Eden again. Nice flick pass to Minikin.
Well, the two Gregs, Eden and Minikin, who just got the ball there on the far side of the field, have scored a third of the tries for Castleford. They are the most dangerous two on the field at present.
Nathan Massey now for the Castleford Tigers to the 10-metre line on tackle number 4. And Milner just weighing up the options both ways, comes into centre field. Here's Paul McShane. McShane then back to Eden. Eden comes wide, and there's a try for Joel Monaghan. And Castleford are underway. It came as a result of a slightly fortuitous call from the sideline and in the middle. But Joel Monaghan gets his 5th try of the season. His 15th career hat-trick. His first for Castleford came against Huddersfield in March. And Joel Monaghan on the score sheet again here tonight.
Well, Rangi Chase, he pumps that ball. He attracts the defender, Danny Brough, but that ball does go forward. It goes against Huddersfield. And then this next set of 6, the play is in motion. Every time a Castleford player is carrying the ball, look at the players that they've got, the options that they have, and it's at the speed of which they fix defenders when they go straight. They hold up the defenders, then all of a sudden they've got to change direction, they've got to try and push out. Gene Ormsby just bit in and left space out wide there for Joel Monaghan. 5 caps for Australia. Do you know what? They've got some experience, haven't they?
I don't agree with John Wells when he said that Grant Millington was one of the most underestimated players in the game. I think he'll find it's quite the opposite. He buys that little bit of time. Huddersfield are always trying to catch up a little bit on goal line defence because of the time that Grant Millington takes away.
OK, Paul McShane then to try and add the extras. I think he's got it. He has. What a kick from Paul McShane. 50th career, 50th Castleford appearance, should I say, for Paul McShane. That's his 4th goal of the season.
And you've just seen a wonderful example of why Castleford are top of the table. They stretch the pitch when they've got the ball and shrink it when you're in possession. They push the ball to the right wing and had Greg Minikin look dangerous, and then had the skills to transfer it to the left. And the defenders couldn't cope with the stress that they were put under. And again, the left winger for Castleford, as we've seen over the last few years under Dal Powell, walks in at the corner.
Well, 2 former Warrington wingers on the pitch here tonight. Ormsby for Huddersfield and Joel Monaghan for Castleford. And Monaghan having left the Halliwell Jones Stadium for the Tigers with a really impressive record of 144 tries in 145 tries in 145 appearances for Warrington. 1 per game on average. Fantastic.
It's excellent, isn't it? You know, you just look at the strike rate, the confidence that he brings it to the players around him, and they're just oozing class this year.
The big question that a lot of people are asking is, can they keep this run going?
Well, I think they can, Eddie. They've lost 3 of their standout players. I'm not going to say it again all night. They've still got Michael Shenton, they've still got Joel Monaghan, they've still got Rangi Chase, who won the Man of Steel back in 2011, and this man, surely this man must be a contender for the World Cup place come the end of the year.
Rangi Chase will hoist the kick high. This is spinning end over end all over the place. Mamo, though, is a quality fullback.
Well, we saw that last week. No matter what Greg Eden does, he runs past Jake Mamo, and it's not about timing that. That's just about getting him his opponent's eye line, hoping that he's going to make a mistake because he's going to be focused on what his opposite's doing.
Murphy doesn't get any further than Lynch and Millington. And Leeming waits still inside his 20. They come over the 20-metre line now, though, with Ryan Hinchcliffe. But that's solid defence again from Castleford. Michael Shenton working hard to push him back a few more metres.
You'll always see that in a set of 6, Eddie, when the first player, the contact will be high, they'll get over the play, and they'll always try and push the opposition player back at least once in a set of 6.
Deep kick from Danny Brough to try and get them out of trouble, but they only find Eden, who in turn finds Minikin. And here he comes again, Greg Eden, anxious to impress tonight against the Huddersfield club that he once played for. And of course, it was when he played for Huddersfield under the tutelage of Nathan Brown that rather unfairly he kept getting compared to the great Billy Slater in Australia. And Nathan Brown actually said on occasions he reminded him of Billy Slater in his early days. And then he clarified that to me one night. He said he makes the same mistakes that Billy Slater did in his early days, and that was the comparison he was trying to make. He wasn't trying to say Greg Eden is the next Billy Slater, and I think he suffered for that, Eden, for a couple of years.
Well, he's certainly a fantastic player, though, isn't he, Greg Eden? On his day, causes problems for any defensive line.
So does this fellow, the Huddersfield fullback, Jake Mamo. He's played and scored in the last 3, and he signed on the recommendation of the said Nathan Brown for the Huddersfield Giants club.
Well, here's Darnell McIntosh playing on the wing, probably trying to fill a role that Jermaine McGilvray plays, not just in terms of scoring tries, but getting his team rolling forward. They've driven back again. Wonderful tackle there by Castleford. Alex Foster trying to be the new Mike McMeekin on the right side for the Tigers tonight.
This was a tremendous tackle from Foster on his debut for the Tigers. You know, it's Dale Ferguson, the man on the score sheet last week in the great win they had against Leeds. Gets Huddersfield to tackle number 5, so expect the kick from this man again. It's another high hanging kick. Oh, and I tell you what, Monaghan didn't fancy that. The ball has been allowed to bounce. It's been knocked forward by Huddersfield, so it's play on, and here goes Monaghan. Good feet from him. And he gets the ball away. I think we'll bring it back, though. Bring it back to the first mistake, and it will be the turnover.
Well, that's what Huddersfield did so well last week. They got through the sets, they got to the kick, and they give it that man Danny Brough. And as soon as he puts the ball in the air, it causes so much problem for the back 3. They're swirling around, they're end over end. He kicks the belly of the ball, so when the ball's coming down, it's floating, and you try and position yourself underneath those kicks.
And the way to counteract that is to take the time away from Danny Brough. Don't stand back and admire the way he kicks the ball. Try and rush and hustle into making a quick kick rather than putting it all the way up in the eye, making it swirl and twist and making it really difficult for whoever's got the job of catching it.
Adam Milner, dummy half. And Castleford ahead by 6 points to 0, but I think we're going down to the sideline for some injury news from the Tigers camp. Bill.
Stars in the wars for the Castleford Tigers, and Rangi Chase has had a visit from physio Matt Crowther. He seems to have a bit of a problem with the left shoulder, but the bigger concern is Nathan Massey, who has just been escorted off the field, replaced by Junior Moores. So that is a setback for the Castleford Tigers. Rangi Chase, though, I think is all right.
Well, he's still out there, and now, as you see, Junior Moores is as well as he's pulled to ground. Massey, the man who has disappeared from view in the tunnel. And a high kick is claimed by Gene Ormsby and is immediately clobbered by Monaghan and Michael Shenton.
They're very simple ends to the set for Castleford. They look like their goal and objective is just simply to pump it up high and put some defensive pressure on the Giants in near their own try line.
Aaron Murphy now for Huddersfield, trailing by 6 points to 0. They've lost their last 4 home games in the league and the Challenge Cup. Their only home win here, 24th of February against Wakefield. Mamadou, I don't think he was in the side then, but he is now, and he is a constant threat for them from the back. Ferguson once more for the Giants.
This is going to be an interesting kick now here from Danny Brough. Cruz Lehman, and he just goes and he was unaware that was the last play and then panics and gives the ball back to Danny Brough. They get away with it on that occasion.
They do, and again it bounces in front of Joel Monaghan, who pouches it safely this time. Quarter of an hour gone. The league leaders ahead by 6 points to 0. And in possession with Greg Eden, who has seen plenty of the ball, I must say. Chiming into the line at every opportunity from his unaccustomed full-back position this year.
And the other comparison you can make with Billy Slater in terms of Greg Eden is he has no fear. Billy Slater in that World Cup final against New Zealand threw an offload. Ultimately, it gave the Kiwis the game because he has no fear. He tries things without fear of consequence, and I think Greg Eden also has that ability.
That was a loose pass that went backwards in the view of Ben Thayer. I think he's right. It's now Jesse Senilefeo. He gets it away to Shenton, and Shenton tried to catch them out down the left-hand side by finding try scorer Monaghan. It just came off Joel Monaghan's fingertips.
Well, a couple of sloppy plays from Kaz here. The offload from Shenton to Joel Monaghan. How wide he can't take that ball. Jesse Senilefeo attracts 3 players. And then Michael Shenton tips the ball onto his winger, and there's a mistake, but there was a sloppy pass from dummy half as well from Cass, which won't please the coach, Darryl Powell.
What would have pleased the coach, Darryl Powell, was last week when they topped 40 points for the 6th successive home game against Wigan. They've scored 79 tries in 12 games, an average of almost 7 per game. The defence, which was a little porous last year, has conceded only 33 tries so far.
And they've done it, Eddie, in my opinion, because they're less risk-averse than other teams. They throw passes, and at times they won't come off. We've seen lots of occasions where the ball's gone to ground. But by taking those opportunities and encouraging the players to use the skills they've got, they've scored so many tries and been so good to watch.
Huddersfield though in possession here with Cruz Leeming, who spins away from one challenge, goes down. Mama was the dummy half. Here now once again is Oliver Roberts. That's a good run from the second row.
Gaining some ground, aren't they? Dictating the pace in this set.
Brough attacking the line, short pass. Aaron Murphy. Ryan Hinchcliffe, beg pardon. Leeming. Here's Brough. Stab ball through, looking for Ferguson. Well picked up by Eden, but he's going to be bundled over his own line. Goal line dropout coming up here. Good pressure from Huddersfield.
It is good pressure, but it was a great pick-up. It's Ken Davey, the owner of Huddersfield, applauds what his side are doing. Brough at the line, pressure from Ferguson, Eden with a clean pick-up, but the job wasn't done for the Giants. And all of a sudden you get Murphy who comes in, he hits, he holds the full-back for Castleford Tigers, and Mamu comes in and just push him back over the line.
It is terrific defence from the Giants, but I'm still going to go back to the point. Andy Lynch didn't put enough pressure on Danny Brough, so Danny Brough could kick that ball where he wanted.
Oh, Darnell McIntosh straight into the chest. First of Jake Webster and then a push from Grant Millington. Here now is Wakeman.
Could have picked out somebody a bit smaller than Millington, a prop forward.
He could have done. This is Danny Brough. Gives the ball wide, and it's Roberts again. He's only missed one all year as Roberts, as he plays the ball to Cruz Leeming. Hinchcliffe once more. Here is Brough. They go wide to Ferguson. He keeps the movement going to Murphy. Murphy knows where the try line is. That's a great ball! And that's a great try from Jake Mamo. Well, he's on fire, the former New South Wales under-20s international. His fourth try of the season. He's now played and scored in the last 4. 5 tries in 13 appearances for Newcastle Knights last year, a career best. He is going to eclipse that total by some distance in 2017 if it keeps going like this.
Well, Danny Brough orchestrates this try, and he orchestrates this goal line dropout. A lovely kick, and the kick is respected by a good chase, and the defenders force the fullback Greg Eden over the dead ball line. There's the ball from Danny Brough again. Ferguson finds an offload. Murphy comes back at the middle, and the thing I like about Jake Mamo is his work ethic. He is where the ball is. He's constantly looking. He's a busy player, and if he maintains that busyness, he'll pick up the rewards.
Didn't Dale Ferguson do well to catch that ball? All of a sudden offload it, gives it to Murphy, who hits that man at pace. Good try and a good build-up as well.
Well, here's Danny Brough with the kicking responsibilities, of course, and he adds the extras with level pegging now at the stadium, the John Smith Stadium. Brough's 26th successful kick of the season.
Well, Huddersfield know that it isn't going to be easy to score against Castleford. Throw 5 passes, get people moving at high pace, and you've got a far better chance of doing it. It's exactly what they proved to themselves here as we get to the end of the first quarter of this match.
Danny Brough with the goal to Mamo's try. Brough inching his way now to 3,500 points in a career. He's just 15 points away from that milestone. And he scored quite a few of them, 360 anyway, for Castleford in 35 appearances for the Tigers, 2006-2007. And his kicking game is so important to any team he plays for, certainly is important for Huddersfield, who get a penalty here from Ben Taylor for interference on the deck.
Well, they take a hee-hee for every time he carries the ball. 73 tackle bust this year, 113 kilos. Talking to Chris Foreman before the game bought him, he said he covers 9.6 metres in a second. He's absolutely huge. Not only is he huge, he's quick.
Almost as quick as you, Terry. Let us quickly go down to Bill on the sideline. News of Nathan Massey.
Yeah, he's back out of the dressing room, Eddie. He's had treatment. Apparently it's a sternum blow that forced him off the field. They're hoping they can get him back on the sidelines. Danny Orr, Darryl Powell's assistant, has just put the headphones on. There's that much traffic coming his way from the boss, who I don't think is too pleased with the way things are going at the moment.
Well, let's see whether the words of wisdom can work, because here is Wakeman again. He's getting to the line. He's over the line. No, he isn't. Ben Taylor was closer than I, and Ben Taylor says you're short. Play the ball, which he does to Leeming. Here's a chance, though, now. This could be for Sam Wood, but no, he is held up.
There's no danger of Sam Wood being too short. He's about 6'6". One of the biggest halfbacks I've ever seen.
Takes it back the 10 metres because he was held up over the line. Here comes the last tackle for Huddersfield. Good spell for the Giants, this. Brough with a lovely kick out wide. Knocked forward, though. Rangi Chase picks it up. They'll trap him in goal. It'll be the knock-on, though.
Well, they're so dangerous, aren't they? Every time they get the ball in good field position with Danny Brough, they can cause some problems. Just the amount of time that he buys with his kicking game, he knows he's got to position himself just a touch deeper.
Ben Taylor just asking the question of video referee Robert Hicks to check that this is a Huddersfield knock-on.
Well, they'll be looking if it comes off Darnell McIntosh.
Well,
the ball goes backwards off Minikin, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's the decision Ben Taylor gave on field. He's given it that it was played backwards by Minikin, and that's why he's given the goal line dropout.
And that was a good shout.
Yeah, the video ref will confirm that, will continue with the dropout.
Really building pressure, Giants, aren't they?
Yeah, they trailed early 6-0, but they've come back with a vengeance. And by the way, we've only had the one penalty that we've seen in this match so far, and we've been playing over a quarter of the match now, so it's non-stop stuff. There is the obvious knockback by Minikin. So goal line drop out to halfway. McIntosh underneath it. The willing runners come flooding forward. It's the big man. It's Shannon Wakeman. He produced his best performance probably in a Huddersfield shirt last week against Leeds. This is Ferguson. Plays the ball to Cruz leaning. This is a good run from the young hooker. No wonder Hinchcliffe's playing it loose forward with leaning in this sort of form. There is Hinchcliffe. Gets the ball away to Brough. Brough then a short ball to Roberts. Oh, and a snaked out arm from Jesse Senilefeo just stopped him. Mamo! Second try! Second try for Jake Mamo! On fire! He had to wait a long time for his debut, but he has come into this Huddersfield side and he's set them alight. Second try of the match. Huddersfield have the lead, and Jake Mamo has now got 5 to equal his career best tally. I told you he would absolutely obliterate that this year.
Well, they just look like they've got so much energy. Danny Brough gets out from dummy half. Maybe a couple of defenders are looking at what he's going to do. And Paul McShane, he had eyes for Danny Brough. You don't know whether he's going to have a short kicking game, long kicking game. When he gets out from dummy half, he isolates defenders, and Mamo knows exactly what he's got to do. Push up into the next hole, offer yourself as a lead, and something might come about.
When you're on your goal line, Dee, the mantra is communication is key. Now, Shenton went up, McShane stayed back. You can bet your bottom dollar there was no communication between those two. You're absolutely right, Tez. They were too busy looking what Danny Brough was doing with the ball. It was a good line and a good try from Mamo.
Coaches speak from Barry McDermott. Goal line D, for those of us who don't know, is defence.
Defence, sorry, Eddie.
One demerit, one D for you, your D. Successful conversion from Danny Brough. 12-6, the Giants lead.
And sometimes this season the Giants have been fantastic. In other games they've looked absolutely terrible. If you could average out their performances in the first half of 2017, they probably rank about the 7th or 8th best side in the Super League today. They're showing in this first half here now a level of consistency we've not seen. Good last week and good again today. They need to remove the erratic nature of the performances as they're showing, and they really are a contender to be in that top 8 side.
Well, Rugby League's marvellous month of May is up and running, and the Castleford Tigers have got the ball back, but they only had it briefly. They're bringing back for the original offence, which will mean that it is head and feed to the Tigers here.
It was a heavy shot. Is it Webster who hits the ball first, dislodges it? Such a valuable player to this squad, Jake Webster. Can do the tough stuff. He can provide opportunities for his winger.
Shannon Wakeman felt that. There's no question about it. The ball was put on the ground.
He was looking at the two defenders in front of him, and Jake Webster come from just slightly at the side. He didn't pick him up in his peripheral vision, and he's spewed the ball because he wasn't focused and concentrating.
Referee not happy with the way the scrum was formed. So he's telling them what to do, and they're not really listening. He's shouting and bellowing. Here is Millington taking on Roberts, but reinforcements there. Mellering quickly, so too Hinchcliffe. Milner is the dummy half for the Tigers. Matt Cook just on the field for the evergreen Andy Lynch.
Paul McShane standing back behind the ruck, just directing his troops.
Milner waits, they're a metre away. It's a short pass away to Millington. That's good defence from Huddersfield, though. Solid on their own goal line at the moment.
They want it on the left there, Paul McShane.
Comes that way, but goes behind him, finds Eden, and they just lost a little bit of momentum there. And Hinchcliffe quickly to put Greg Eden to ground. Misfiring at the moment, the Tigers. Might now, because here comes Junior Moores. Mamo pinched it from him. And it was a one-on-one, so play on, and now it's been pinched back again.
Is it Alex Foster?
I think that's Jesse Senilefeo.
Yeah.
So 2 one-on-ones, 2 ones make 2, and that makes 4. Dominican.
Well, there you go. 2 wrongs do make a right, don't they? He nicked it off one, he nicked it off the other.
It was grand larceny on both sides. Well, I've never seen that. One-on-one one way, one-on-one the other way, and then they get it out wide. And Minikin gets the try, and he's creeping up now on Greg Eden at the top of the try-scoring charts. That's 13 for Minikin, 14 for Eden.
Well, Huddersfield make a mistake after scoring a try. Shannon Waitman bringing the ball back from a solid shot from Jake Webster, and then a one-on-one hit from Mamo. What's he got to concentrate? It's a carry and try and tear that bloke down to ground. And then you could see Jesse Senni, Lefeo knows exactly what he's doing, but what about this pass from Rangi Chase? The winger doesn't have to break stride, just keeps hugging that touchline. The youngster Greg Minikin. You can see why the wingers score so many tries, because they're willing to throw balls like that. Excellent play.
And well done to Alex Foster. He found himself in the wrong place, kicked on, got out of the way, and it was a lovely pass that provided the opportunity for the try.
And McShane has kicked the goal as well. We're level pegging again, 12-all. From what we're hearing on the side, Darryl Powell maybe not too impressed with what he's seen so far, but he can't be anything but impressed with that.
Well, that's a quality pass, and you just saw Alex Foster, a young man I worked with during the beginning of his career at Leeds Rhinos, a very diligent professional. He's played at London, played at Bradford, or signed at Bradford, played at Featherstone, and he's trying to make his way in the game now. It'd be an excellent signing for the Tigers.
Well, 2 tries against Wigan last week for Minikin. He's added another one here today, as I say, unlucky 13 for Greg Minikin now. 1 behind Greg Eden at the top of the try-scoring charts. And they do score tries from everywhere this year to Castleford. Everybody's second favourite team, so it is rumoured. As I say, the marvellous month of May is well and truly underway. Here's a penalty now for Castleford.
Well, Sam repaired it. Just all over Jesse Senni Lefeo. Just big and powerful. He's awkward when he goes into collision. He looks to offload the ball if he gets his arm free. Lefeo. And every time a Cas player carries the ball, you don't know what's going to happen.
Jesse Senni Lefeo takes it forward. We have Warrington Saints tomorrow, 7:30 on Sky Sports 2. I wonder how those two will cope with their absences for England. And Catalan Dragons will play Leeds on Saturday afternoon at 5 to 5 on Sky Sports 3 this time. Great weekend from the Betfred Super League live here on Sky Sports. Here is Millington for the leaders, who finds McShane. Short ball then to Shenton. Big scream from the sideline and the terraces that was forward, but Ben Thaler says no, it wasn't, so play on. Millington again gets the ball away to Chase. He just drops the pass off beautifully. And that was a good run. And there you go, he gets the penalty. He gets the penalty, does Foster.
Just too quick, Eddie. You just can't control them, and you know that if you can't control the ruck speed from Castleford, you're going to concede some points.
And they might hear, this is Matt Cook. Fo quickly in with Rapira.
Get off him!
Grounded a couple of metres away from the line. Milner. Millington. Here's McShane. And Eden. Lovely pass again. Gets it away to Monaghan. Monaghan, though, tracked all the way by Ormsby. McShane. Junior Moores gets to the line, and I think they hold him up. They do.
What brilliant defence from the Giants. When the ball's being shifted, they turn it up in numbers, and they prevent Cass from getting the ball down. Big Junior Moores, an incredibly difficult man to stop, and they just escort him over the try line, prevent him from putting the ball down. They look comfortable at the minute, the Giants.
Please. Okay, 3, go.
So here they come again. And the ball finds its way to Chase. Here is Webster. Webster goes down, tackle number 4.
Push them.
Chase again. Drops the ball off to Cook. Or Cook. Here is Milner. That's the Scouser in me, I'm sorry about that. Here now is Chase. Chase to the in-goal area. And taking no chances, Darnell McIntosh. Too many Cooks spoil the broth, they say in my part of the world.
But it's just about building that pressure, isn't it? Again, when Cass go at the line. Danny Bruffs for Huddersfield, Rangi Chase is for Castleford. Any good half-back close to the opposition's try line will have practiced kicks like this during their career from when they started at 7 years of age. They just perfect them now as a professional.
Isn't this a good contest? Both sides having a turn with the ball, having their turn to be under pressure, under stress on the goal line. Quality game.
Back up.
Yes, it's a nice contest, no doubt about that. Danny Bruff's dropout reaches Shenton.
One movement! Sam!
Just trapped it with the foot. It allowed Huddersfield to race from their own line and get the tackle in. Junior Moores now. 9 minutes to the half-time siren. All square, 12 all. Milner, the dummy half, in centre field. Matt Cook.
3.
Grounded. Good tackling from Huddersfield. Daniel Smith and company. Milner to Moores. To the way to Chase. Short ball. Foster again. Relishing in the opportunity that's been offered to him this year is Foster. Alex Foster. Fingertips, though, from McShane. Knock on.
Well, if Huddersfield want to win, they have to be able to survive those tough periods where they're on the line and under pressure. They've done it there with a mistake from McShane, and usually the handling skills have been excellent so far this season, but the pass he can't take in. And Huddersfield now try their best here to work their way forward against a wall of tigerish defenders here who sprint forward at them.
Well, the Tigers have been irresistible this year at home, but away from the jungle, they've lost their last 2. And in fact, it's 3 defeats from 6 on the road. Paul Clough is on the field for Huddersfield, back in Super League after a couple of years with the Bradford Bulls in the Championship. Bruff goes wide and finds Ferguson. He goes further wide and finds Murphy. Murphy will back himself with the pace. Oh, through the legs of Eden. Minikin to the rescue.
He's excellent when he's got the ball, Greg Eden, but he has got some mistakes in him. He picked up a difficult kick close to his try line, then got forced over the line. But this, all he's got to do is really trap the ball. He's looking at what's going on in front of him.
It's the easy things he struggles with, Greg Eden, the simple basics.
Makes him look easy.
Yeah.
I think there's a problem here for Jake Webster. I think there's a major problem for Jake Webster.
I was for you, right? Yeah. What for?
Danny Bruff and Dale Ferguson just cradling the Castleford player, and Danny Bruff wore a very worried expression on his face, and I'm sure that Ryan Sheridan and Darryl Powell are equally concerned.
And whenever you see opposition players not worrying about what's going on in the field of the play, they'd rather hold up their opponent, and it looks like he gets caught with a crusher tackle, Danny Bruff. Well, they're one of those difficult ones, the unintentional Danny Bruffies. And Jake Webster's going down, he's backing into the tackle.
Robert.
And straight away, Danny Bruff just holds on to him.
It looks to me, or it appears to me, that while that tackle is taking place, that there'd have been a shriek or a yelp or some kind of painful anguish from Jake Webster, and then as professional Rugby League and Super League players will do, they'll all stop and try and assess the situation. Doesn't look good for Jake Webster at the minute.
No, it doesn't. Played 10 times for New Zealand, the last a decade ago. And, oh, yes, I think.
Yeah, he does.
Danny Ling's a bit of weight on the back of the
And watch Danny Bruff there, Eddie.
I just wonder whether that was an accident.
It looked
the reaction from Danny Bruff.
Yeah. And don't forget, we're watching that at slow speed as well. When that's happening and it's all collision and it's all up in your face, Danny Bruff realises straight away that what's happened.
He's the person to keep hold of Jake Webster around the neck.
Mate. All right, we're going to tackle 2.
He's helping him up.
That's not the actions of a man who's intentionally going to do something wrong to an opponent.
It looks like he might be A-OK to carry on, Jake Webster.
I bet it just scared him. It must have been the shock initially, wasn't it?
It scared us. We're miles away from the action.
Well, we are very fortunate in Rugby League that serious spinal injuries are a very rare occurrence, and we've got well-trained medical staff at all levels of the game. The Rugby League Benevolent Fund does a fantastic job in assisting those who do suffer from serious injuries, and if you ever get a chance to support or get involved with that, I'd encourage you to do so.
Castleford then trying to work this ball away from their own line after that little scare for Webster. 7 minutes to the half-time siren we are, and Chase inside his own 40-metre zone, but he can't get the angle on the kick for a 40-20, so it's into the arms of Mamo. the two-try hero so far of the Huddersfield Giants.
It's a decent chase, isn't it, from Castleford? Both sides not making many mistakes, very disciplined.
Move, Adam! We're here, guys. Junior, back to me. Two fellas.
Well, 3 years ago to this very day, these two sides met on this ground, and it ended up 29 points to 28. The Huddersfield Giants victors on that day. With the scores, it is evenly balanced tonight, and the way these two teams have played for 30 minutes, Eddie, it looks like we could be in for something similar.
Maybe so. That's a good little half break though from Dale Ferguson, halted by Webster, who loses the ball, does Ferguson, but it was an illegal challenge in the end from Jake Webster.
To keep the pressure on, or do you go for 2 points?
Well, look at the clock. What have we got? Six minutes or thereabouts to half time.
I'd keep ball in hand.
What are you doing, Gareth?
Keep going. They've just had a rest with Jake Webster.
And that's what they're doing with Adam O'Brien. Gives it to Murphy.
And isn't that what you want to see, though? You want to see a team that's near the bottom of the table, backing themselves when they're close to the opponent's line.
Hinchcliffe on the ball for the Giants. Here now Brough to Mamo on a hat-trick now, of course. Jake Mamo.
That was stolen as well.
It was another penalty. So penalty try is the old adage in rugby league.
Or maybe will they just set up the field position and maybe attack Jake Webster? See if he's 100% yet.
So they get the penalty to Huddersfield, 10 metres away. Adam O'Brien again restarts with a tap. Daniel Smith into the chest of Matt Cook, who wouldn't be dissuaded with help from Moores. Down he goes. Chance here for Mellor. We'll take Castleford up to it in defence with McShane and Jesse, Senny, Lefeo. O'Brien again, Smith and Brough. Look! Bang, bang. Cook.
Adam Milner
in second. Adam Milner
Junior.
His quality, isn't he, Adam Milner? Certainly come of age this year.
And O'Brien once again gets the ball away. This is Paul Clough. So close to that Castleford line. O'Brien again, short ball. Ooh, and if he gets this down, Rapira, but they force him back the right side of the whitewash from a Castleford point of view. Brough again, slides one of those inviting kicks. It's a first half hat-trick for Jake Mamo. Created by the guile of the little left foot of Danny Brough, and picked up by Mamo, who scores an incredible first half hat-trick. Well, this now is his finest season in terms of try scoring already, and we're only in early May. He could get anything come the end of the season, Jake Mamo, if it continues like this. A first half hat-trick and Huddersfield take the lead.
When Daryl Powell gets his team here, they'll say we must stop giving penalties away. We can't afford to keep giving the ball in good field position to this impressive Giant. It's Danny Brough, he shapes to pass it to his left, stands up the defenders, puts a beautiful kick into the path of Jake Mamo, and that's his hat-trick.
Well, for a team at the bottom half of the table, one thing they have done really well this season is score tries on the last tackle. That is another perfect example of it. When he gets to the last play, with the kicking accuracy of Brough and the enthusiasm.
Just gone down the tunnel. Obviously, half-time approaching, they've taken him off, but he's in a lot of discomfort by the look of things, and it looks like shoulder or neck that is the problem.
So no Gale tonight and no Rangi Chase at the moment, and Bill's right, he doesn't look right, does he? He does not look well.
No, and as a senior player, knowing that you're missing a few of your stars, you don't want to leave the field unless you're injured, so it looks like young Tom Holmes, number 23, will come on, he plays half, he plays hooker.
They lost possession here, Halifax, so that's why Castleford have the ball back, of course, to compound the injury to Rangi Chase and the absence of Luke Gale. No Ben Roberts either for the Tigers, so the halfback partnership that's been purring along this season has been disrupted tonight, big style. This is Millington. They're not out of this yet, though, with players like Millington and Moores and co.
And he's a man who can play halfback as well, isn't he, Millington?
Yes, he is. High kick, high kick. This should be taken cleanly and is by McIntosh. Was his foot in the air when he collected this?
Well, he's going to check if he jumps out to field, is he, or if he's standing out to the field of play, Stuart?
Well, he's got to catch it within the in-goal area or have his foot over the not have his foot over the dead ball line. If his foot's over the dead ball line when he catches it, it becomes a goal line dropout. You see there.
Yeah, because that's a little tweak of the rule this year, isn't it? You can make it dead on the sidelines, but not in the in-goal area.
That's right. And it used to be the case that wherever he catches it there, he's diffused the bomb. Whether it's gone out on the full, we still get a 20-metre restart. But the change with the law this time.
20. Where there, Jay?
Well, he must have decided that he caught it before his foot hit the line, so we've got the 20-metre restart. He's diffused the bomb on the full.
I tell you what, it was slide rule time. It was touch and go. Ormsby goes down. So he's got the ball. Well, the ball touches his hand. Does that indicate that he has control of the ball as he diffuses the bomb?
Well, he's got to actually catch the ball. If his foot's outside the ball, outside the line, he has to let the ball touch the ground outside the field of play.
Here's a penalty meanwhile, thanks to you. Here's a penalty meanwhile because Millington has caught somebody high.
Adam O'Brien gets up from dummy half.
Oof.
Tries to beat the markers.
They'll go for two here, won't they? Yes, they will. With 25 seconds to the half-time siren, which will sound as Danny Brough lines this kick up. Well, Rick Stone in the past match and a half has turned this club around.
The impressive part of the first 39 or so minutes for Huddersfield has been the pace that they've played the game. That penalty come from a pacey player, Adam O'Brien, getting out and really challenging. It was the markers. And Grant Millington lunging, hits the player high. 2 points, or a chance of 2 points for Danny Brough ensues.
And an 8-point lead at half-time if he kicks this. But he hasn't. He just pushed it the wrong side of the post, and he's disappointed with himself. Mamo isn't down. He pats Danny Brough on the back, and well he might, because Brough has created his 3 tries, by which the Giants lead at the break. Mamo on 19, 22 and 37 minutes. All improved by Brough. Monaghan for the Tigers open the scoring. Minikin 26. 18-12 at half-time. On a Super League Thursday, we're in Huddersfield watching the Giants and the Tigers, and it's Huddersfield who lead as we begin the second half. 18-12 is the score. The league leaders up against it for the second 40. They have lost the last 2 away from home, 22-26 at St Helens, then 24-26 at Hull. Their only other away defeat coming at Salford, 12-13. So when they lose away from home, they lose close, Castleford. And tonight they'll be happy if they win close, but we shall see. We're underway in the second half. Paul McShane has got us in motion again. Brough was underneath the kick-off. Here's Paul Clough. It's a big 40 minutes that's coming up for both of these clubs.
Well, every team that's played against Castleford so far this season is aware that at times they can hit a purple patch. And Huddersfield, when playing at Castleford at the end of March, watched as the Tigers scored 7 second-half tries. Huddersfield know that this is only halfway over and they need to be even better in this second half.
We're here, boys.
Well, they were fairly impressive in that first 40, there's no doubt about that. That was Adam O'Brien at dummy half. Sam Rapira, they'd be delighted to see him back. He missed last week's win at Leeds. It was the first absence in 11 games for the big former Kiwi international. And that was Paul Clough who played the ball. Here is Danny Brough again with one of these trademark high spiralling kicks of his. Eden is underneath it. Castleford will respond, they hope. Let's see what was said in the changing rooms at half-time. Bill Arthur.
Stony-faced Darryl Powell came out of the dressing room after half-time. The message is simple for his side. There is room for improvement after at times sloppy first half. They just tried too hard early on, made some errors, and then allowed Huddersfield to get a little bit of momentum. So they've got to cut out the errors, tighten up on the discipline, play the ball faster, looking for more pace in their game. They're a bit sluggish at times. So all round, the Castleford coach is looking for a big improvement from his side in the second half. Message is simple from Rick Stone, who at times is a man of few words. More of the same, please.
And more of the same, no doubt, from Jake Mamo, who got that first half hat-trick. That's a big hit on Darnell McIntosh. There is the Huddersfield coach, Rick Stone, 23rd game in charge. And after 9 without a win, it all came right last Thursday at Headingley, and so far it's all coming right here at home against the league leaders themselves. Knock on, though, given against young McIntosh, I think. Obviously lost the ball into a Castleford tackler, spotted by Ben Taylor. Head and feed at the scrum coming up to the Castleford side.
Well, they worked over Castleford's big men in the middle of the park. When he gets the ball, he goes out from dummy half. He picks out Matt Cook, and as he's trying to offload the ball, he offloads it into Adam Milner. Does he? He makes a mistake. It's just he's looking to offload the ball. He drops it. There's just a lot of arms around him with Millington and Milner.
Yeah, a bit of a loose carry by the youngster. He really has been playing well. The 19-year-old on the wing for Huddersfield. Jesse Senilifeo, though, for Castleford now played the ball. Here is Matt Cook. They're 20 metres away and bang in front of the posts, Castleford. Adam Milner. Here now Junior Moore. Short ball then to Millington. Ferguson was close to him, helped out by Aaron Murphy. Tom Holmes fires the ball into centre field. It is with Paul McShane. Short ball from him. Jesse Senilifeo bounces off a couple. McShane. It opens up briefly for McShane, then it closes the door, and then Tom Holmes goes without it. Huddersfield have it back.
Good defence from Ryan Hinchcliffe. He's not the biggest, Ryan Hinchcliffe, but he's always hunting in defence. 47 tackles last week against the Rhinos. You can see he just works extra hard. He targets Tom Holmes, and he forces that error. It's a big effort. Every time the ball goes away from you, you can't switch off. He's been a big signing, Ryan Hinchcliffe, for Huddersfield Giants.
He has.
I'm a big fan of him.
He's missed only 2 of 46 matches since joining Huddersfield last year, and he got a try in the big defeat, 16-52 at Castleford in March. But he tries his hardest each and every week, does Ryan Hinchcliffe.
Eddie, and this is a test of character for Cass. Yeah, they've been the pace setters all year. They find themselves 6 points behind on the scoreboard. They're up against the determined side, though, with carries like that from Sam Rapera. They lost Nathan Massey in the first half. They lost Rangi Chase in the first half through injuries. How can they cope with those losses? Well, we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we?
We are, as Ferguson gets to his feet, plays the ball. Here is Brough, and he just floats the pass away. Solid defence on Sandwood. And a knock on. It wasn't Sandwood. My apologies to him. It was Daniel Smith who came up with the error. There it is.
Well, they were virtually error-free in the first half. It's where you make those errors as well that counts. You turn the ball over to a team like Castleford in your own half, you could be punished. But they've just got to keep on doing what they did in the first half. They defended heroically at times, the way that they turned up for each other. They were getting numbers in, they were slowing the rooks down.
And that's surprising when you consider that they have conceded prior to tonight 56 tries.
Play on.
Well, they've been erratic, Eddie, haven't they? They've had periods in matches where they've looked like a team that should be in the top couple of places. They've had periods where they look like they should have been playing in the division below. But if they can find some consistency, as we said last week when they played against Leeds, they're far better than what they've shown in the first half of this season.
He goes in again very quickly. Does Adam Milner, gets the ball away to Lefeo. And here now is Moores. Rapira with a copybook tackle around the legs. Can't go anywhere without the legs. Cook taking it to within a couple of metres of the Huddersfield line. Reach the last. The least they will look for here is a repeat set. As Millington finds McShane and he pumps the ball out wide. Good play, good try. Great try. I think it's Greg Eden. It is. Greg Eden chiming into the line from full-back. Maintains his position as Super League's top try scorer now with 15. Sweet moment for him. Greg Eden, the former Huddersfield man at Brisbane last year. He learnt a lot there and he has produced this year for the Tigers.
Well, I said, Eddie, when you make mistakes in your own half against a team like Castleford, you could be punished. There's a couple of long passes that go out wide to that man, Paul McShane. and it's a control kick, it's a delicate kick. He targets Joe Monaghan, and as soon as the ball goes up in the air, Joe Monaghan just out jumps Gene Ormsby, and Greg Eden puts himself in the frame to score the try.
Well, the Huddersfield crowd aren't particularly impressed with this. They think this is a forward pass.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
The fact that Eden has to reach forward,
I think you're right.
just one of those things.
For me, the impressive part of that was Grant Millington's pass. We've said that Rangi Chase isn't available. There's an injury to Ben Roberts, so who takes responsibility for that first part? If you don't get the first part of that play right, ultimately the try will be a little bit more difficult, but Grant Millington take a bow.
And Paul McShane take a bow with his kicking game tonight, and there's nothing wrong with this.
There's nothing at all, and I think you should also look at Ben Thale's position. He's in the perfect position to judge that right up with play.
Well, is this the beginning of the purple patch? One try in Castleford's season so far. A couple of tries tend to follow shortly after.
Well, we shall see. 18 all it is, though, and we really have the game on our hands here for the last half hour.
Move, Alex!
We're going to
Go, play on.
wee while since that victory, but it was in the Super 8s, September 2015. Huddersfield.
Junior Moores and Jesse Senlifeo, they're two players you've got to control. Their carries have been very good, and Adam Milner, well, he's just been good all year, him, wherever he plays. And this is a terrific set of six, isn't it? Look at that, 40 metres from Huddersfield line after scoring a try.
Millington trying to take control for the Tigers.
Release, fight down!
Grounded about 30 metres away. And so Tom Holmes with the crossfield kick, and this is high and all over the place. And he immediately puts his hand up, there's Minikin. That was a very dangerous moment for McIntosh.
He doesn't get this right, does he?
Well, in rugby union, I do believe he gets sin bin more often than not for that sort of incident. I'm not suggesting it should be 10 minutes here for him, but it's dangerous play. And we're lucky out with it. Daniel McIntosh is okay, up on his feet.
It was a moment ago. Minikin just got that completely wrong. I think he was watching the ball, was he?
He's just got it wrong. It's a dangerous tackle. It's a dangerous tackle. I don't think anything else will come of it.
Tackled in the air. McIntosh A-OK, which is good to see.
And as Phil said as well, it was good to see him get to his feet, showing that he wasn't injured, not playing for the penalty. He left that up to the referee. Ben Thale let him control that.
Ferguson plays the ball. Nice little run from O'Brien. Huddersfield fans saying the Castleford were all offside. Here comes Rapira. He went straight at Millington, knocked him back a couple of metres. Momentum building here for the Giants with Danny Brough. Brough gets the ball away to Mamo. Mamo then to Mella. 4 tackles gone. Look where they are. 15 metres away from the Tigers line with Paul Clough. And Paul Clough carts the ball forward underneath the sticks. Last one coming up then for Huddersfield. O'Brien gives it to Brough. Brough then gets it away to Mamu. And Minikin is trapped in goal.
What a good set of six. Huddersfield Giants fully 90 metres with a good kick on the end of it from Jake Mamu, who's having a lovely evening. And look at the kick chase team. There's 4 players, a 5th player in Adam O'Brien. Wonderful stuff.
Well, the Giants have needed this, haven't they? They've got to get excited. If they're going to beat the Castleford Tigers, they need to take the chances, and this is a perfect one.
Daniel Smith bringing it forward, spinning away from the first challenge. Finished off by Junior Moores. O'Brien to Brough. He's got Ferguson with him. Ferguson is halted by 3 defenders. Gets up rather untidily. Plays the ball to O'Brien. Here is Danny Brough. Brough suddenly looking excited. Wood gets it away to Mamo. Not a fourth, surely. Yes, no, yes, no.
No, he's not got it. This shows calm down.
You think Adam on the sweep, wouldn't you?
Well, I'll tell you what, the way that the forwards are carrying the ball for Huddersfield, they're now putting a dent in the castleford defensive line.
How good is Mamo, though? This is Rapira. That's 4 tackles gone. O'Brien, 6 metres away from the line. Daniel Smith now. Oh, he got the ball away. Was it knocked down to the floor by Milliken? Play on. No, knock on. Knock on.
Yeah, there's an offload.
Was it Eden or was it Milliken? 10 feet to Huddersfield anyway.
You can see Daniel Smith gets his arm free. It's Greg Eden.
No. Yeah, it is.
Isn't it offside? Does it hit one of his players on the
Accidentally
floor?
offside, so it will be a scrum anyway.
Well, they're just starting to port the nose through the line, aren't they? Danny Brough had gone round the back as though he was faking to get a turn-up play. Daniel Smith chooses to run the ball himself, looks to pass the ball back inside. That man just couldn't resist putting his hand out. And I tell you what, if he didn't put his hand out, that was another try for Huddersfield.
He's got that in his game, Dan Smith. Another player I worked with while he was a junior at the Rhinos. He for me, for a forward, has got the best hands I've seen on a forward. We've got another great forward in Grant Millington, who can pass, offload. But Dan Smith, who's still making his way in the game, still learning his trade, still learning what it takes to be a middleman or a front row or a 13, whatever he takes into his career. But there's a head clash. I think Dan Smith collects the knee of Greg Eden, and that's the reason he's got the Mr. Bump hat on.
Packs down in the front row of the scrum. Wood feeds. Here's Brough. Brough goes to Mamo. Here he goes again. Shenton gets to him. Sort of grabs him to the ground almost. Ormsby now to Brough. Here is Clough. Huddersfield suddenly fancy they might be taking the lead again. O'Brien, Smith, Brough gets the ball away to Ferguson. Good job that young Tom Holmes was there. O'Brien again, right on the line. Castleford defending for their lives. Good work. Rapira to his feet, plays it. O'Brien finds Brough again. And Paul Clough is brought to ground.
Good tackle. Adam Milner, who else?
O'Brien fires the pass. Brough again. Good kick. Oh, it was so close then for Alex Mellor.
It was just too easy for Alex Mellor, wasn't it?
Hello, here we go.
With Paul McShane and Mamo. But it was just too easy for Mellor. The gap opened up. The kick was perfect.
They're not going to the field of play to hand over.
Look at that. Absolutely nobody at home. Joel Monaghan, he's isolated. He's got 2 Huddersfield players in front of him. Alex Mellor just taps that ball back up into his hands. He scores a try and puts Huddersfield in front on the scoreboard.
Well, interestingly, Darryl Powell's now introduced one of his subs, but the only player who hasn't been on the field, Gadwin Springer. He's got the white boots on. You'll see him, I'm sure, run this ball forward very powerfully in a second or two.
There he is waiting for the pass, and here it comes. Straight at Hinchcliffe. Good, solid first run from Springer. He missed last week's win against Wigan. Down goes Seni Lefeo. Plays the ball. Springer again, second carry this set.
Do you know, it's just relentless when you've got forwards like Gadwin Springer, who comes off the bench. He complements Junior Moores and Seni Lefeo.
Tom Holmes is kicked to the corner. Ormsby's underneath this, so too Mamo.
Now he's there already.
Bit of a swipe at him from Tom Holmes. Doing a hex, Mamo, but I've not seen him put a foot wrong in game and 3/4 yet.
No, he's been good, hasn't he? Defensively, he's solid under those high balls. He doesn't look as though he's under pressure.
Good work. Look at there, they've shifted the point of attack. The Tigers are just about up to it.
Again, if you're nervous, you don't shift the ball like that close to your line.
Murphy finds Ferguson, and Ferguson will go down here.
Release Grant!
O'Brien is waiting at dummy half. Gets the ball away. Oh, no, he doesn't. He takes it forward himself, does Adam O'Brien. On halfway, last one coming up. This is Brough. Brough with a high kick. Look at this, look at this. Eden has dropped it. And Huddersfield will get head and feed.
I think this is is an uncatchable kick. It's unfair, isn't it? He's done remarkably well to get two arms to touch it when it came down.
No, he's got hold of it, and the power and the pace of it bounces off his forearm. You said, Eddie, that when Danny Brough plays well, Huddersfield play well. He's the point of difference. When he's in the mood, he can break a game down, he can speed it up, slow it down.
But when that was kicked, you could see where Greg Eden was, the way he was positioned, he was under the ball, he just didn't look confident, the way he was sat back on his heels.
I don't think there's a player in this stadium that would be confident underneath a kick from Danny Brough.
Ben Thaler's trying to get the scrum set. Let's quickly go down to Bill because he's got news of Rangi Chase.
Yeah, the Castleford Tigers not ruling out a return for Rangi Chase, but he's standing in the dugout at the moment, all wrapped up. Looks like a man who's slept very awkwardly and has woken up with a very stiff neck.
Yes, it doesn't look comfortable at all, and he won't be looking comfortably on this because it's intense pressure on the Tigers' defence here. And Huddersfield camped 5 metres away from the line. O'Brien, they nearly took the dummy.
He's made a difference, hasn't he, Adam O'Brien? Smith
to Sam Wood. Leggy standoff, isn't he? Goes down under Moore's tackle. O'Brien again. Here is Paul Clough. Gets it away. Ikahihifo to Brough. Quick pass then to Mamo. Mamo looking for a fourth. Mamo looking for a fourth. Forced to the corner by scrambling Castleford defence. Here is Hinchcliffe. Paul Clough again. Goes down, tackle number 5. But they've laid siege to the Tigers' line. Can they get a repeat set and nothing else? Well, they'll take a drop goal instead from Danny Brough.
Well, Phil, you might get your 28-29 at this rate.
Well, it's International Star Wars days. He said, listen, let the force be with us here now. He's decided not to have the stress and tension. Last time it was in the 74th minute. He's put it over 20 minutes early this time. He's put them narrowly ahead, and maybe psychologically more than anything here. He's given his team here now a real target to chase. They've got 24 minutes just less to be better than the Castleford Tigers and to start to consider themselves again as a top 8 side.
Well, you're right, Phil. I know which one is Jabba the Hutt, and I know which one is Yoda.
Okay. Warrington Saints tomorrow. If it's as good as this, there'll be no complaints. 7:30 Sky Sports 2, and we have a third for you on Saturday this weekend. 4:55 Sky Sports 3 this time for the Dragons in Perpignan against the Leeds Rhinos. Some big games. 3 of the biggest on Sky Sports this weekend from the Betfred Super League. That was O'Brien again. He gives it to Paul Clough. Ikahihifo stands and gets it away to O'Brien. He finds Wood. Here comes Hinchcliffe. He goes down the right-hand side with Alex Mellor. Hinchcliffe again.
They look rampant, don't they? The forwards are getting over the advantage line.
This fellow's a danger. This fellow's a danger. He's appealing to the referee for a high shot. The penalty doesn't come. O'Brien again. Danny Brough. This time he goes high into the left-hand side. Mamo's after it. Minikin has got it. Brett Minikin. Hauled down by Darnell McIntosh.
There needs to be a big defensive set of 6 here now from Huddersfield. They've got Castleford rattled. They're on the ropes. They're doing everything right when they're carrying the ball. They're putting themselves into space.
Took that well, Minikin. Here is Webster. Seems to be none the worse for the experience in the first half when he got a bit of a push on the back of the neck. It looked more serious than obviously it was. Millington taking on Murphy. Murphy stands his ground. Little Danny Brough round his ankles as well. Dale Ferguson finishes him off on halfway. Here is Nathan Massey back after being injured or certainly withdrawn in the first half. Fit enough to come back on. Plays the ball. Tom Holmes goes high and down the middle of the field. Mamo's underneath it.
Play on, play on, play on.
No problem.
You can just see the way that there's a difference between when he catches the ball, he's solid, his body's in a solid position, whereas Greg Eden, to deal with some of those kicks from Danny Brough, he's been all over the place because the kicks have been that good. If you're going to test Mamo at the back, the kicks have got to be better.
Darnell McIntosh.
Come on,
struggling to his feet. Millington's left, sitting down at the play of the ball. That was Sam Wood, got it away to Mellor. Here now comes Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe gets a hand in the face of Paul McShane. McShane won't be denied. It's Wood again. Up the middle they come with the big man, Shannon Wakeman. Last tackle though, Castleford have done well to keep them to this range, but Brough with the kick, and that bounces kindly in the end for Monaghan, but he slipped as he picked it up, and so that just allowed Mellor and Wood and company to come in and affect the tackle.
Well, we saw it last week against the Rhinos. Danny Brough takes control at the back end of the set. He looks to kick in behind the full-backs, wants to make it as difficult as they can. So as soon as they get that ball, they turn around. All of a sudden, they're met with a defensive wall.
And he's helped with some of those senior players. You mentioned Ryan Hinchcliffe. You also talk about Adam O'Brien and Cruz Lehman. When Cruz Lehman and Adam O'Brien look after that dummy half, it leaves Ryan Hinchcliffe in the loose. He's able to defend and contribute in a different manner when he's got 9 and the responsibilities of it.
It's a free play, and here they come with McIntosh to Huddersfield. Webster just couldn't take the pass in. Had he taken it in, it might have been so different. He would have been over the other end, maybe. As it is, we're watching Huddersfield come forward once more with Hinchcliffe. Lateral run from Hinchcliffe, cut down by Webster, who made the initial mistake. O'Brien, dummy half, inside the 20. Drops the pass off. Ikehihi-Fo, he is such a threat, such a presence, gets it away. Mellor under pressure from McShane. Only 2 tackles gone though. They're 10 metres away with Brough. Brough then for Mamo. Mamo just hangs on under pressure from Webster. Last quarter of the match we're in now. Huddersfield with a 1-point advantage. Dale Ferguson trying to tease a tackle out of somebody and gets it. O'Brien to Brough, and Brough delayed the pass. And it was knocked on, was it? Yeah, or at least knocked backwards by Huddersfield, picked up by Castleford.
He tried to keep it to the last second then, didn't he, Danny Brough? When he got at the defenders, he pulled them in, tried to get that space for his teammates out over on that right-hand side.
3, move Oliver! Come here, 3.
Just tries to give it, to Roberts. Unfortunately, can't give him a clean ball.
Well, the league leaders know there's been a match tonight. There's no question of that.
Where is Alex? No, let him get off you!
McShane. Here comes Junior Moores down the left-hand side.
5, move! Alex, get your hand out a little quicker.
Beat Huddersfield home and away last year, aiming to repeat the feat here tonight, but being given a heck of a challenge. Mamo's lost that. Was it a collision with Massey? It was.
Yeah, he was
Massey took him out in the air.
Tackled in the air.
He's in the air.
And it was significant for me when Junior Moores takes that ball up on the last tackle. There's the challenge from Nathan Massey. It was significant that the fullback Greg Eden, who's played all season on the wing, he wasn't there. It's Zach Hardacre, and again, it's difficult not to mention the 3 players that aren't playing, but that role and responsibility needs to be taken by somebody else. You know you've got to back Junior Moores up, you've got to back Jesse Senilafeo up, because there will be some reward off the back of that.
If the fullback has made an attempt to catch it and then the tackle takes place, at what point is the defender allowed to get involved in that contest?
As soon as he gets down to the ground, he's got to have a foot on the ground before he can make contact. Any contact while he's up in the air and he's attempting to catch the ball is a penalty.
Wait here, boys, wait here!
And that's why Huddersfield have this field position. They begin this set of 6 just inside the Huddersfield half.
Wait here, lads, 1.
Ormsby waits at the play the ball. Here they come again. Oliver Roberts. He's brought down by 3 Castleford defenders. They've had to do a lot of that tonight, Castleford. Huddersfield have got the tails up again with Hinchcliffe. And he finds Brough. Here is Ferguson. Millington held on to him. Just helped out by Moores. This is great from Ferguson. This is fabulous from Dale Ferguson.
That's desire and commitment, that. To carry the ball like that and get rid of defenders. Good play.
Brough again. Ball back to Ikehihi-Fo. Gadwin Springer was in front of him. Junior Moores is behind him. With the help from Senilafeo, down he goes, but right on the line. Here is Hinchcliffe, drops the pass off to Brough. Brough a short ball to Ferguson. Castleford muscle up in defence again with Millington and Webster. Brough saying to Lehman, get out the way, let me sort this out. Dabs the ball to the in-goal area. Almost. It bounced away from Sam Wood. It was just a touch too strong.
Eddie, the previous play and that, the ball was out the back. Danny Brough went at the line, he chose to hit the lead runner in Dale Ferguson. There was space out the back.
And this is what the Tigers tried to do, counter-attack, quicker than anybody else. They've got up to the halfway line in 2 plays, but good work from the Giants. They're back and set.
Yes, the defence is sorted as Massey takes it forward. 10 metres inside their half.
You've referenced the work that Castleford are doing in defence. Sending Lefeo 40 tackles in this game.
Here's Webster. And Webster's a difficult man to put down. Eventually they do. Leeming and Brough. Millington into centre field. Tom Holmes. Springer. 4 tackles gone. 19 metres away. Castleford. Holmes again. Goes down the left-hand side with Milner. Milner then to McShane. Sonny Lefeo gets the ball away, but the referee shouted held. So we'll come back to the last tackle.
Always fights to get his arm free to offload that ball.
Go. Tackle 4.
Tackle 4 it is, so the last one coming up in a moment.
What we got? Tackle here.
McShane gets away from Mamo, finds Milner. Milner with a kick cross field, inviting Minikin to run for it. Claimed by McIntosh.
Good work from the youngster, but excellent defence over on the right edge. None of the Huddersfield players were biting him, pulling the trigger, trying to solve problems themselves. The ball goes to the other side. The kick's taken by that youngster, and that's a big play by McIntosh.
And he's on the ball again now. McIntosh will be pulled back towards his own line. Plays it though. Leeming weren't standing square, the Castleford defenders.
Well, that's why he got out from dummy half. He stepped back into the ruck, hoping to get a penalty from the referee.
Solid run from Wakeman again. Last one now for Huddersfield, still inside their own half. Kick from Brough has to be good. He shaped a kick, dummied it, and then got the kick away. It's a great kick too.
Oh, he's too good. He's too good, Danny Brough. Making those instant decisions, reacting to the landscape, things change in front of him, and his split-second decision-making is better than most people in Super League. I guess he might have wanted the ball to stay in field so he can keep the pace of the game strong, but he'll take that, and I'm sure his forwards will walk to the scrum, get the breath back.
You're right, Barry. He doesn't preempt any plays, Danny Brough. He plays what's in front of him. He looks for space. His main objective when he's carrying the ball, whether he's kicking the ball, he's looking to find that space, that bit of a gap in the defensive line. Quality player.
And I think I'm right in saying that he's leading Huddersfield tonight as the captain. He's lost the captaincy a couple of times in the past. The crowd think that this is a forward pass decision. It's not. It's Marcus not standing square. Penalty to Castleford. But when Danny Brough leads as skipper, he seems to be like 200% involved.
Well, leads by example. He steps up to the plate, doesn't he? Sometimes they've been a captain. It's overbearing on some people that they can't handle it. They think that they've got to do everything, but Danny Brough seems to just lift his game, takes it to a different level.
Lynch is back on the field. He played the ball there to Adam Milner. Here goes Nathan Massey.
Move, Cruz!
1 point ball game. Huddersfield leading 19-18. Oh, they get a penalty now. Then what will they do? Will they take the 2?
Yeah.
Go for 2.
Well, there you go. I hope you can see Darryl Powell in the stand over there.
I think the message got out pretty quickly.
This is going to be a very tight, close contest. It's been like that all the way through. And Huddersfield trying to control the speed of the play the ball. They'll have recognised, they'll have worked on this during the week. We have to control the speed that the Tigers play this game at. And Darryl Powell and Ryan Sheridan, they know they're in a battle here, and they know. And you talked about Danny Brough and his skill set and his quality. His decision-making, it's his temperament that sometimes can be the difference between a good personal performance for him and a destructive one for the team.
Well, McShane hasn't missed one yet. 3 from 3. This is bang in front. And he hasn't missed. Again, 4 from 4. Castleford now nudge themselves ahead at 20 points to 19. The crowd on its feet, the other end of the ground as the players come back. They want to maintain this league leadership. Danny Brough as captain, just questioning that decision from the referee, maybe.
Time off.
Aiming for a 10th win in 13 games for a 3-point lead at the top of the table.
Well, they haven't lost often, and when they have, it hasn't been by very many points. they'll be delighted the fact that Paul McShane's kicking as a backup goalkeeper is as accurate as it is and has been here tonight. A wonderful record there. That was a relatively easy one for him, directly in front, but still with the pressure on. It needed converting, and they'll be happy, you know, they're running forward with that narrow lead.
Yeah, and he's kicked well tonight, as you say, from both sides of the field and bang in front, kept his nerve. And with 12 minutes to go, it's Castleford now with the 1-point lead.
And they can't just shut up shop as well, can they, Cass? Defend that just 1-point lead.
I don't think that's in their DNA, is it?
No.
Springer, he just had a little look over his right shoulder then. I think he was hoping there was some support for him, but there wasn't. So took the tackle.
Big tackle.
Hinchcliffe. John Milner and a half.
Yeah, he did. Tom Holmes hoists the kick on the last. This is end over end as well. And McIntosh gets hold of it. Spins away from Holmes' challenge.
He hasn't had a perfect night on Darnell McIntosh, but he's got the ability to mentally spring back and get on with the next job in hand. A good player for the future. We've talked about him in glowing terms so far this season. Can't wait to watch this kid develop.
As Mellor takes it forward again. He's been ever present so far in the centres as Alex Mellor gets to his feet and plays it to Leeming. There is Brough. Here is big Seb Ikehiko. Look at this! And he's got Mamo with him. He also had Jake Webster with him. The ball's it was stolen, says Ben Thaler. It was stolen, and he's in the bin. Is Jake Webster.
He said the tackle was complete as well, didn't he? Well, both players were on the floor. Ikehiko, big strong rubber ball type of player, keeps his legs pumping, breaks the line, and after a 20-metre break, the tackle took place, and Jake Webster, he's the one in the sin bin.
Well, the referee's deemed that the tackle was complete and then the ball stolen. He's seen it as a professional foul. Yeah, he's deemed the tackle's complete there. Progress has stopped. He's stolen the ball. He's seen it as a professional foul, and that's why he's put him in the sin bin.
Well, he looks perplexed, and the one or two Castleford supporters, players and coaches scratching their heads. A brave decision from Ben Thaler. Did he? You have a squeak on his microphone, Stuart. Did he call held?
He called held. Okay. He's deemed that the ball carrier has succumbed to the tackle. As I say, you know, progress has stopped. He wants to get up and play the ball.
Well, it's all sorted now because Danny Brough's successful kick has nudged Huddersfield ahead by a point. Jake Webster looks perplexed.
But we're going to have a big 10 minutes, aren't we, before the end of this game. I'm not so sure that this tackle is complete. I think Jake Webster's got every right to get that ball. But I'm not the referee.
Well, it was made if it wasn't going to be there already for an exciting finish.
Should make it compulsory for these teams to always play on this day. They seem to bring their best out to one another. The weather has been good here, and I know one or two players missing, but the people who've turned up here are going to get value for money here with an intense and exciting final 10.
Let's get down to Bill on the sideline.
Just feels so sorry for Jake Webster, who is still protesting his innocence to anybody down on the sidelines who'll listen to him. He's been right round to Matt Crowther, the physio, to Danny Orr, to everybody on the sideline, and they're all shaking their heads in mystification as well.
Well, he might just about get on for the last 30 seconds of the match. But Castleford have to do it tough in the final 10. Or thereabouts without him. Oh, Eaton. Well, I suppose if you're 1 point down, you may as well have a bash at everything. And that's exactly what he's just done. He's given it to Milliken now.
Is there?
No, there's a penalty to Huddersfield.
And Milliken loses grasp on that ball. Danny Brough involved in that tackle, penalised for illegally slowing the challenge down, or slowing the play the ball down. He's all over Milliken.
And this just plays into Castleford's hands, doesn't it? They're one man down. They need to get the ball as far away from their try line as they can. And it just helps them out.
Since they came into Super League, oops, here we go. It is tense.
Eddie, I think you get the Castleford players take exception to the way. I think it was Danny Brough that dived into that tackle. and it didn't look good. In all honesty, it didn't look good. I'm not a fan of...
Well, what's Icky for doing? He's hugging Danny Brough, trying to shield him from players getting to him. Sensible by the front row. Watch this. It's very low from Danny Brough. Players don't like that. I don't like to watch that kind of tackle. Illegal or legal.
Well, Ben Thale has seen it. He's seen the contact coming in at the side of the tackle. I think we may see a card of one colour or the other here for this. It's deemed as dangerous contact if you're coming in to the side of the tackle with that sort of force.
The first contact is obviously dangerous from Danny Brough, when a couple of men are holding you up, but it's the second contact with the men who are bending you over.
Danny Brough. It's a penalty, he's going in the bin. Anything else? Yeah, no. Right, no problem.
I think he's going in the bin. We've just heard.
Off you go.
So they will both play out just about all of this game with one man short.
And Stuart, just for the benefit of the people watching this at home, if Danny Brough makes that tackle in a legal manner, where is he allowed to hit the standing player?
Well, it's more about the force that he's going into the tackle with. If he goes in with less force to take him to the ground, then he's probably going to be okay. But certainly, they want people to tackle so that the knee goes in the normal range of movements. In other words, your knees go forward, they're not going any other direction. But it's more about the force in that sort of tackle.
Well, it's now simmering. It is now.
It is a test, Eddie. We talked about his goal kicking ability. You know, he thinks it's a little far out here for Paul McShane, 45 metres. I think he's put it to the corner.
I think he's probably safe with that, isn't he? He's safe because 12 on 12, and they will run this. And don't be surprised if you get a one-pointer if nothing else comes in the next 5 tackles.
12 on 12, you've lost your captain, you're up against the team that scored more points than anyone else in Super League. Oh, danger times here for Huddersfield.
Very much so. Andy Lynch is underneath the post. Adam Milner waits at dummy half. Fires the pass then to McShane. He changes the direction of the attack, comes back into centre field. Hinchcliffe's after him. Got away from Hinchcliffe, couldn't get away from the next two. Wakeman and Rapira. Tom Holmes, he wasn't standing square. Rapira has to be careful. Millington loses his footing, obviously. Holmes. Here is McShane again. Drops the pass off to Massey. Hinchcliffe working his socks off in defence. Milner. Oh, knock on by McIntosh. It was worth a chance. It was worth a snatch, because if he'd have got that, he'd have been on his way up the other end.
Well, he just needed to be a touch deeper, Greg Minnick, and he was too flat for the substitute Tom Holmes, because they certainly created that 2-on-1 over here on the right-hand side.
And it's head and feet to Darryl Powell's Castleford Tigers, who I think will look back on this and won't be happy with the quality tonight that his players have shown, but both sides have shown so much heart.
Well, I mean, when you consider the players, the positional players that Castleford have missing, a scrum half and a standoff, and being able to organise, they've asked Paul McShane to do it, Tom Holmes, they really are doing remarkably well here. And you have to back them with 4 minutes to go, that they've got to try in them. 6, I should say.
Matt Cork has done this ever since he came off the bench in the first half, just trundles the ball forward. Milner will go himself, but there are too many Huddersfield jerseys there, and he's forced back. Tom Holmes again. Eyes the pass. Finds McShane. McShane gets into Jesse Senilafeo! And I think he might have won it for Castleford. Jesse Senilafeo, the Samoan. Thank the Lord he's not playing against England tomorrow Saturday morning. He's here tonight for Castleford Tigers. He did this at Wigan. 4th try of the season, and how vital could this be for the Castleford Tigers in 2017?
Well, Cass get another set of 6 because of this play from the youngster McIntosh. He knew that he was caught out, but Senilafeo, he's been absolutely excellent. When he's been defending, he's been very good. They've been working very hard. They've worked him over Huddersfield. But when it's time to stand up and be counted, that man just puts himself where Paul McShane wants. He hits a good line, he hits a good lead, and he comes up with a winning try. Maybe, as Darryl Powell knows, that's certainly given them that breathing space that they need.
Well, contrasting views from the two coaches, obviously Darryl Powell and Rick Stone and Danny Brough off the field in the sin bin alongside Jake Webster. It's 12 on 12. Jesse Senilefeo has taken the eye from the start of this year. And can Paul McShane add the extras and give them a bit of breathing space? Yes, he can. So Huddersfield have to now score a converted try in the last 4.5 minutes. He's done his bit, and Darryl Powell's taken him off.
Well, it was an outstanding try from the Tigers, but contributions from Tim Holmes and, of course, Paul McShane both play the regular rugby league as hookers. It was Holmes' pass from dummy half. It was Paul McShane's pass to Jesse Senilefeo that just bought half a second for the big fella.
This is a great kick-off. It's come off Shenton and went backwards. He got away with that, Michael Shenton. Have Castleford got away with the victory with all their stars? Well, 3 of their stars missing on international duty, and Ben Roberts out injured. And Rangi Chase off the field injured.
I think you mentioned the spirit, Eddie. If whichever side go on to win or lose this game, Huddersfield, if they come out on the wrong side of it, they can look back and say, if we match that spirit, if we match those smart periods within our game, then we'll beat most sides in the league.
It must be gut-wrenching, though, for Huddersfield to have played as well as they have tonight, to be on the wrong end of this scoreline. And McShane just dribbles the ball all along the ground and finds touch. And Huddersfield will race to the scrum, Castleford won't.
You're right, though, but sometimes the reward isn't in the scoreboard. Of course, it's about 2 points, and for Huddersfield, it's about climbing the competition ladder. But sometimes the rewards are within the game where you play well. As a team, individually, you know that if you replicate that the week after, you'll get the result.
197 seconds away from victory, Castleford. The Cup takes centre stage next week. Next Thursday, we'll have Featherstone Halifax at 5 to 8 on Sky Sports 3. And then the following night, we have a repeat of the £1 million pounder from last year. Salford Hull Kingston Rovers, 7:55 Sky Sports 3. Challenge Cup next week. Then the Super League returns with a bang at the Magic in Newcastle.
Well, this is where the Huddersfield Giants need to take some risks. They've not scored many tries from within their own half, but they need one right now.
And Jake Mamo with his first half hat-trick, he will wonder what on earth he has to do. Is a penalty coming here? No, there isn't.
Lucky to get away with that.
I think that the referee said he was holding him back. Oh, here he goes! Here goes Oliver Roberts! Oh! Clouted round the chops by Eden. Goes down in the tackle. 2.5 minutes remaining. Leeming scampers away from dummy half. He finds Mellor. Mellor gets it to Ormsby. And that's the last tackle. And that is the turnover deep in Castleford territory.
Well, they went the wrong side. Mamo was over on the left, Eddie, and I'm sure if that ball comes over to this side, where most of the Huddersfield players were anticipating it was going to go, they go right though, they run out of space. But what about this for a break? Qualities, all of a sudden he's looking for support. Who's going to be with him? And Oliver Roberts just takes the tackle, tries to play as quick as he can.
It looked like a penalty when he was hit a bit high, but actually you see it from that angle and it probably wasn't. So into the last 2 minutes, 5 points the difference. Castleford clinging on.
What about that man now who's going behind dummy half as well, Paul McShane? Crucially, he's kicked 5 from 5. That's the best kicking display of his career.
Shenton for Castleford.
Where boys, 4. Go.
Still inside their own half. Huddersfield will have one more go, will they? This is Joe Monaghan spinning away from tackle after tackle. Now the kick here has to be good. McShane knows that and will find touch on that far side.
And the experience from Monaghan when he's involved in that tackle and that wrestle, he cradles the ball with no risk of losing control of it, and Paul McShane jumps out, slows the game down.
Well, a big set of 6 coming at Darryl Powell's men from Rick Stone's team.
You know, Paul McShane has been very important for Castleford in this second half. He's had an interesting career, hasn't he? Made his debut for Leeds back in 2009, bounced around and been to Hull, Widnes and Wakefield before arriving at Castleford a couple of years ago. And I wonder whether there's a similarity between him and a Josh Hodgson. perhaps an underrated and undervalued British hooker, primarily that's his position, who obviously Josh Hodgson went to the NRL, has been a star and made the international level. McShane, you never know, you know, his appreciation of his skill, I don't know whether we fully appreciate what he has actually done and what he has done for Castleford here tonight.
On his 50th appearance for the club as well, Paul McShane. It's Huddersfield's last throw of the dice. Mamo is hauled down by Matt Cook. They need a converted try. Leeming gets the ball away. Here he comes again, Oliver Roberts. It's a penalty.
They've got just over 30 seconds, but wasn't that an important tackle from Cook?
Well, a big 30 seconds and counting coming up for Huddersfield, coming up for Castleford. Mel restarts. He'll take the tackle from Shenton and McShane. This is what the Betfred Super League's all about. Big finish coming up from Huddersfield Giants. Leeming gets it away to Hinchcliffe. They're not done yet. They're not done yet. Sam Wood gets away from the first challenge. Gets the ball away to Mamo. Jake Mamo. Oh! It went behind Aaron Murphy.
Oh, and he punches the ground as well, Mamo.
Full-time siren has sounded. A pinnacle result, possibly in Castleford's season. Get the teeth back in. And I bet Rick Stone thinks that he has lost a pound and found a penny tonight. Darryl Powell with 3 men on international duty and 2 priceless players out injured in Roberts and Chase. I think he knows maybe that's their get-out-of-jail card in 2017. Great game.
Well, when they went in at half-time, Huddersfield Giants 18 points to 12. They must have thought they had this game within their grasp, but the quality of Castleford Tigers, the way that they've risen through adversity will give them great heart.
If you're a Huddersfield fan, if you're a Huddersfield player, over the last 2 weeks, you will take an awful lot out of both of those games. This game was there for the taking. They just didn't manage to get over the top of the table Tigers, who were quality, and they showed out why they are top of the table, even missing players. But Huddersfield can look at themselves in the mirror, and Rick Stone knows that he's got a team now that's fighting.
Yes, they put up a real scrap. Perhaps worryingly for Rick Stone, they didn't manage a try in the second half. The only points coming from the boot of Danny Brough, who ended the game in the sin bin, of course. Mamo's 3 tries in the first half for Huddersfield came to naught in the end. They led 18-12 at the break. Monaghan and Minikin with tries for the Tigers. But then Eden's try, Sonny Lefeo's match winner, and McShane's goal kicking has won the day for the Castleford Tigers. They're 3 points clear at the top of the Betfred Super League. They won't be dislodged. Who is the man of the match? Well, there you go. First half hat-trick hero. Jake Mamo of Huddersfield is with Bill.
Thanks, Eddie. Jake, congratulations on a man and a match performance at the very least. Score a hat-trick, you end up on the losing side by a pretty narrow margin. It's got to be hard to take.
Yeah, it is. It's disappointing. We played well in that first half, and you saw when we come out in that second half, 2 errors off the back, and you just can't do that. If we stuck to our plan and we just completed, we would have had them, but yeah, it's disappointing.
First half was a dream, especially for you, with that hat-trick.
Yeah, definitely. It's just all the work from the other boys. They've put in a lot of effort. We showed we could do it last week. We showed again tonight that we do have what it takes. Like I said, a couple of silly mistakes. Bit of, silly mistakes, that's what it was.
You had to throw that pass at the end. I mean, you were pounding the turf in frustration, but you had to chance your arm.
Yeah, I did, but I probably could have just performed it a little bit better, but anyway, it's done now.
But you said, I mean, we saw last week, we've seen again tonight, you've managed to find some intensity at the very least.
Yeah, we did. I think last week was the first game we really put a full game together. We took a lot of confidence out of that, and I've said it before, like, confidence goes such a long way, and we show what we can do again tonight, and we'll just build on that and just stick to the plan we've got to do and not make errors like we did.
Well done on a man of the match performance. You get a cheque for a charity of your choice as well.
Thanks very much. Cool.
Jake Mamo's the man of the match. Michael Shenton is the Castleford Tigers captain, and we knew when you've got players missing, you lost Rangi to injury, you're always going to have a battle on your hands tonight.
Oh, we knew that right from the start. Looking at their performance last week against Leeds, they're really spirited. They got some great character, and for most of that game, they were the better team. And a few stern words at half-time. I thought we were much better in the second half. We had to grind that win out, and that's not our kind of style. But I think we've showed a different side of our game tonight, deep into our squad. So now it's a pleasing one to get the win. Not great to. I'm not sure not great to watch or great to be part of, but a win's a win, and that was the most important thing for us today.
It was tense, very tense. Must have been tense out there as well.
Oh, it was, yeah. When Jake got sin binned, and then you think, oh my God, we're down here. Bruffy's not going to miss that kick. But you kind of got to keep calm and say, look, we're going to have to play a little bit, boys, but don't lose your heads too much. And we did that. We did well, and then Danny did that at the end, kind of evened it up a little bit. And I thought we were cool under pressure, and we pulled a smart play. And Jesse was great all day for us, and he deserved that try.
Michael, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Bill.
Daryl Powell's the Castleford Tigers coach, and I have to say I was in your region when you came out of the dressing room at half-time. I didn't want to get too close to you because you looked a bit stony-faced.
Well, we had to respond to a really strong Huddersfield performance. So they came after us, they smelt a bit of blood, and we were a little bit down on where we wanted to be attitude-wise, I thought, at the start of the game. And yeah, we just needed to respond. I thought it was a great second half. It wouldn't be what you see from us all the time, but that's the first tight game we've won all year, so I'm delighted that we've dug that out. That was a tough call on Jake Webster at the end that looked like it was going to cost.
If it had cost the game, that you would have been very unhappy.
Well, it was a tough call, wasn't it? You know, to sin bin him as well on the back of that. Yeah, but look, just really pleased. I thought Huddersfield were great tonight. You know, I just thought they came after us, put us under a load of pressure. We were creaking in the first half, but we found solidity. We were under a lot of pressure in the second, and delighted that we've been able to win a real tough game. And it's rugby league. It should be tough, shouldn't it? And we've battled our way out of a really difficult game tonight.
Thanks, Daryl.
Thank you.
Yeah, difficult game, a very entertaining game. No tries for Huddersfield, though, in the second half. And, John, you keep a team scoreless for 40 minutes, you're going to have a massive chance of winning a game.
Daryl Powell, he'll be massively pleased with that result. As Michael Shenton referred to in his interview post-match, well down the batting order there. Players that were playing big game time tonight that had not played an awful lot of minutes in 2017. 3 points scored by the Huddersfield Giants, all off the boot from Danny Brough. 1 drop goal, 1 penalty, largely due to efforts in defence like this. This preceded the drop goal, actually. May have been a factor. I mean, it's a cracking tackle by Tom Holmes on Dale Ferguson. May have been a factor in Danny Brough going for the drop goal. Perhaps they feared that they weren't going to be able to get over for a try. Again, Alex Foster and Matt Cook on Sam Rapira. That's some ask from 2 or 3 metres. And then Adam Milner, once this ball gets out into a bit of space, these are more difficult tackles here because you've got options running at you on Paul Clough. And I think that underlined this backbone that this Tigers have got this year. That's the smart play, Jesse Senna-Lefeo, that I guess comes down as your official game breaker, Brian, that the try that put Castleford back in front. But certainly that defence, and particularly that defensive steel and defensive stubbornness, Powell and the Tigers will be extremely happy with.
Yeah, as he said, first tight game they've won all season. Big win for the league leaders, the Castleford Tigers, in the sense that it was a 2 points they were desperate for, shorn of some of their stars, but they were pushed all the way by Huddersfield in what was a riveting start to round 13 of the Betfred Super League. We've got more match analysis coming up, and also previewing tomorrow's fixture at Warrington. Stick with us, we'll be right back.